So here's a question for you. How many brand new phones can you buy right now for 220 quid that boast a 90Hz display? And the answer is nice and simple, just one. This bad boy right here, the Realme 6. It's a budget blower that boasts some very surprising specs indeed, and I've been using it as my full-time personal phone for just over a week now to see if it's a true budget rival to classics like the Moto G8 Plus. So here's my full Realme 6 review, and go check out my Realme 6 Pro review as well to see what I think of the upgraded model. Now, most affordable phones sport a very similar form factor with little in the way of frills or flair, and while the Realme 6 doesn't stray far from that budget path, you do always at the very least get a colourful design to liven things up a bit. You can pick up the Realme 6 in two different designs. This here is the Comet White, and you can also grab it in Comet Blue. And in case you didn't already guess, the design is apparently inspired by comets. And that's just referring to this funky 3D streak that glides across the back end when the phone catches the light. That's a pretty cool effect, and exactly the kind of attention to detail that I would expect from Realme. And I also approve of the neat gradient finish here on the Comet White model as well, with a blue coloration that bleeds up through the handset. Apart from that, it is basically business as usual for a budget blower, and the Realme 6 seems reasonably rugged so far, although a couple of light scratches are now adorning that shiny rear surface. Thankfully, you do get a condom case bundled in the box, so you can slap that on if you want to keep it looking pristine. And the Realme 6 is also splash proof as well, but don't go taking it in the jacuzzi with you or anything like that. What that basically means is it can cope with a bit of light drizzle. And no worries with damage to the actual display as well, because the Realme 6's screen is covered in Gorilla Glass 3, and it's also got a pre-installed screen protector on it as well, so no worries. Speaking of the display, this is one of the best smartphone screens that you will find around this price point, full frickin' stop. It's a 6.5-inch IPS panel pumping out full HD plus visuals, so your geeky anime shows or violent action flicks or videos of whatever weird cat stuff you're into will look beautifully crisp and detailed. And almost unbelievably, the Realme 6 serves up a 90Hz display as well, which is something that you usually have to fork out about $half a grand for. So smooth. Of course, you don't get any snazzy video frame rate upscaling software or any jazz like that, but that 90Hz display means that skimming around your desktop's menus and supported apps is an absolute joy. You can't play around with the colour output beyond tinkering with the temperature a bit, but I found that the visuals appeared quite natural, with a bit of pop for those more vibrant colours. And yeah, there is a pinhole cut out for that selfie cam, but it's wedged away in a corner and very rarely intrudes on any action. My only real complaint is that the auto brightness in the Realme 6 display can definitely be a little bit all over the place. Sometimes you'll be outside and it'll be way too dark, you won't be able to see what on earth is going on, and other times it'll be eye-poundingly bright when you're waking up all groggy first thing in the morning trying to check your emails. And also the responsiveness can be ever so slightly off at times as well. So for instance, if you're browsing a website, a tiny little ad pops up, you're trying to desperately hit that miniature X in the top right corner to get rid of the bloody thing. Sometimes it'll take 3 or 4 taps before it actually happens. And sadly, you don't get a stereo speaker setup here as well, unlike the Moto G8 Plus and Power. Instead, it's just a single blaster slapped on the bottom edge. And you know what, that's absolutely fine for just enjoying a bit of YouTube or whatever, but if you want to listen to some tunes or a podcast or something like that, you'll definitely want to either stick some headphones into that 3.5mm jack or get involved with a bit of the Bluetooth 5.0 support. And thankfully, I definitely didn't have any issues at all when streaming music or anything like that wirelessly, with a bit of LDAC support to boost the quality of your audio on top. Voice syncing and everything else was spot on too, great stuff. As far as the software goes, it's the fresh new Realme UI slapped on top of Android 10, although at this point it is basically just ColorOS by a different name, with the same great bonus features and the same rather awful clunky settings menu. I won't bang on about Realme UI once again here though, because I've done a full tips and tricks guide in a separate video, so go have a gander at that for all you need to know about those features and the other best bits of Realme UI. And in more great news, the Realme 6 packs in all of those great smartphone features that a lot of other budget blowers skimp on, such as dual band Wi-Fi and a good bit of NFC as well. I also found that the edge mounted fingerprint sensor was really good. It was comfortable to use and impressively fast, and you even have a bit of face unlock action which requires proper eye contact. You've got a choice of either 64 or 128GB of storage here on the Realme 6. And the good news is that that microSD memory card slot is actually completely separate from the dual SIM slots as well, so you don't have to compromise. Now on to the performance, and while the Pro version of the Realme 6 is powered by a Snapdragon 720G platform, the standard Realme 6 rocks a Mediatek Helio G90T chipset instead. But wait, whoa, hold up. Before you let that Mediatek name put you off and go smashing that back button and looking elsewhere, do not worry. That Helio G90T chipset is actually a surprisingly good performer, especially when it's backed by 8 gigs of RAM as it was here in this review model. It's really rare to see any irritating stammers or long pauses, and the Realme 6 can even quite happily see you through a proper bit of PubG Mobile action. It turns out the G90T is a surprisingly impressive performer when it comes to gaming. I didn't see any proper frame rate drops even when leaping from windows, throwing myself into gunfights, or bombing my way across the virtual landscape. In fact, on my very first try, I managed to do the unthinkable and beat the living shit out of all of those bloody sprogs who spend 10 hours a day playing this game now that the schools are all basically closed. In your face, you little turd sniffers. And the Realme 6 definitely doesn't disappoint when it comes to battery life either. You get a good size 4300 mAh cells stuffed in there, and I found that was more than enough for a full day of action, whether you're up to a good bit of media streaming, gaming, Skyping, whatever you fancy. And you get 30-watt fast charging on board as well, which is as good as you could possibly hope for around this sort of price point. So once again, you get full charge in just over an hour from an empty cell. Now last up in this review is the quad lens rear camera, which certainly impresses for specs. The Realme 6 rocks a 64 megapixel primary lens, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and a depth sensor to round it all off. If you're absolutely adamant that you want a telephoto lens thrown into the mix as well, then you'll have to upgrade to the Realme 6 Pro. Here on the Realme 6, photos are shot at 16 megapixel resolution by default, with pixel binning in place to brighten up the results when needed. You can shoot at the full 64 megapixel res if you like, though the difference in detail levels is only really obvious when you zoom right in. Overall, I was definitely happy with the results for a budget snapper. Those indoor pics aren't marred by the typical soft finish, while it's rare to see any serious saturation if you shoot outdoors as well. Instead, you're more likely to get murk in those darker areas. The ultra-wide angle lens does exactly what it says on the tin, although you can expect very vibrant colours and poor low-light performance. Meanwhile, the macro lens can be used to capture sharper results up close if you're into snapping creepy crawlies and whatever. There's also a dedicated night mode which can brighten up low light snaps, although the Realme 6 again performs pretty good for a budget blower even in that auto mode. And for your home movies, you can record up to 4K resolution footage, and again the results are perfectly respectable. You get accurate colour capture, plenty of detail, and clear audio pickup as well, the full works. And finally, around front, the Realme 6 serves up a 16 megapixel selfie shooter, which is absolutely fine, although HDR situations can be a bit of a struggle. So that's my full final review of the Realme 6 after using it as my personal smartphone for over a week, and I gotta say, for this sort of budget price, you will struggle to find anything better. The performance was slick, the battery life was great, 90Hz display is rather lovely, and it packs in all those features that you hope to get in there, like NFC and dual band Wi-Fi. Even those areas where affordable phones tend to struggle, like the camera tech, absolutely no worries whatsoever. Because if you are looking for a budget smartphone, I've done roundups of the very best affordable handsets you can pick up right now in the UK, so go check those out. Check out my Realme 6 Pro review to see what that one upgrades, exactly telephoto lens, chipset change, a couple of other little bits here and there. And please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely week, people. Cheers, love you.